The state of internet in Detroit is quite sad. 40% has no connection.
So from food, housing, clothing, shelter, all the skills been stripped from us. It's like, damn, I gotta build everything from the fucking floor up.
Digital justice looks like no shames, you know? It looks like giving internet to people. It looks like building networks. That's why I'm doing it.
So we've now entered into Southwest Detroit, which is actually where I live. I just recently moved because I got priced out of my neighborhood. So I think that's a big part of the narrative too, is that people are just trying to keep their resources because so much is changing. I'm Diana Nucera.
Yeah. Sounds a little low to me.
AKA Mother Cyborg. I've been teaching people technology for as long as I can remember. To me, Mother Cyborg is someone who's supposed to help people come to the realization of the potential of technology. I'm the director of the Detroit Community Technology Project, which is responsible for the Equitable Internet Initiative. Well, you know, Detroit's like one of the top 5 least connected cities in the United States. So what happens when you have half of the city that has 1,000 megabits per second, and then the people with the least resources only have 10? I think that causes a huge problem as far as what you can do with access. Because of high foreclosure rates and because of bad credit, a lot of telecom companies don't offer good service within these areas, or they won't even turn on their fibers. So we have a lot of dark fiber that doesn't have internet running through it throughout the city. So we have gigabit fiber that we've purchased from a ring that was recently built downtown. They have built fiber up to a rooftop, and that rooftop then has a router that then is being pointed to each of our community centers. There's a global infrastructure. A lot of that fiber runs underneath cities and under the floors of oceans. That internet infrastructure then has these exchange points throughout the world. And the exchange points are where internet service providers then tap in to be able to exchange information. And then from there, internet service providers then build infrastructure to then share the signal. And so that's where we come in. We need to build our own infrastructure and rethink internet service providing and access in order to reach those people that have been traditionally left out and marginalized. So the work we've been doing is not just about access, it's about building a healthy digital ecosystem. We're also building an infrastructure that was missing in Detroit. What evolved out of that was what we call the Digital Stewards program. We have now trained trainers in 3 neighborhoods. In the North End.
So yeah, we just leaving our spot right here. Our AP's on top of this building. We got our drivers right here. We got Gabby right there. We got the young guy, Haru, right here in the North End.
In Island View.
This space, this is a maker space for the church. The share network is down here, as you can see over your computers. Dwight works on the wiring and cabling. There are a lot of the manual things that are on the tech side.
And in Southwest Detroit.
This would be an example of a public space. Some of the neighbors come over and they do their homework in the alley because we can share the Wi-Fi. A lot of the people right now, they currently there's people that go to McDonald's for Wi-Fi. Why not have a public space for people to use it?
It said 18 megabits though, so 89. Usually we have to put stuff up on the roof, but these trees are old in the North End. That's been our biggest complication, these like beautiful ass trees. It's good to have trees as your complication.
87, 81, 82, 83.
Let's try the front window. This was our first one and it took 3 hours, so our time has been decreasing. I feel like me and my teammate Gabby can get one done in about an hour, honestly. You gotta plan before you leave. We all gotta be aware of like what's going on. Like, are we testing? Are we installing? We gotta communicate. So a few things on paperwork gotta be filled out, a few calls gotta be made, and that's it, it's simple.
So this is the router that's on top of Grace in Action. Anything that we can see like straight from here is a house that we can get connected. So like the houses across the street, we can talk to the liquor store owner or to the body shop owner. We're using our community relationships to kind of zigzag the connection down to Grace in Action. In a way right now, like 60% of Detroit is without high-speed internet. Like even the, the AT&T dial-up internet. And so things like water department, DTE, social services, they're not even translated. We're in a large Spanish-speaking community as well. People are being left behind in a system where like, you know, technology is moving forward. There's a big digital divide, and so we're trying to like make steps in order to bridge that gap.
My name is Wallace Adam Gilbert, Jr. I'm the assistant pastor here at Church of the Messiah. We don't use titles, so everybody basically refers to me as Wally. This neighborhood is called Island View. To our west is downtown Detroit. It's booming and it's bustling. We are 2 minutes from the Detroit River. This is a very diverse neighborhood. This is one of the older parts of the city. We have an Earn a Computer program here at the church. So the kids come in, we put the call out, we get all of these old machines, we bring them in and we help them build computers. This past Christmas, all of the kids were literally on every computer in this church. I'm walking around saying, you know, what's going on? And so we gotta go back to school tomorrow. So why are you on this machine? I helped you build a machine. I know you have a nice machine at home. He said, yes, Wally, but I don't have the internet. Without the internet, we've basically only given them typewriters.
So right here with these blue dots with the house symbols on them, these are the people who have filled out applications and are interested in receiving the internet. So we could service all of these people rather quickly. To get a signal from the Church of the Messiah, we would have to look at what buildings do they have over there that we can make a hub.
So what we're doing now is we've done the physical mapping, we've actually turned up the network here at the church, and now the individual residents are coming and signing up. We have 37 people that are on board. The main access is here at the church, and then we're broadcasting to other facilities. One of the requirements is that you do not have internet. Second requirement is that you cannot afford the internet. The third is you have to be within our range.
Look around and what you see is decay, but at the same time there's community groups developing, there's a food pantry, you know, the churches are still active in the community. We have an antenna right here, by the way, it's on the back of the house, and another one on the front of this house. We're giving people the internet.
Gabby, why are we doing this?
Justice. This is the future of the internet. This is the future of the world. New CCEII internet.
We found our spot. We about to install. Took a little minute, couple windows. We don't have to go to the 3rd level, so we should be good. So this is the final step, y'all. So we got our CPE outside. We got our RJ45 coming in to the grounding. The grounding got an RJ45 coming out to the router. The router is not connected to this laptop that she's configuring, giving network information to the devices in the house.
How do you leverage ownership of the networks that everybody uses every single freaking day? How do you leverage that?
And then the connectedness between Island View, Grace in Action Southwest, and New CC on the north end. Again, different neighborhoods, but is there a community that gets established by those networks?
The community is actually starting to get very involved, they're very informed, they're very aware, and it was not an easy process, but they're there now.
Though some of the challenges in this process, it was a challenge negotiating to get our connections. Being a woman, specifically a woman of color, a lot of people aren't going to listen to me when it comes to technology or even the internet. We primarily work with women of color, and that to me has been like a success that's come out of this. And it's a proof that if you have people of color in leadership, then it'll uplift other people of color to come into leadership as well.
I think it's important when you talk about businesses and places and organizations that do things to have a face to it. So for me, this is a beautiful thing to be a part of, because the faces that these people see are the same people who installed it, the same people who are protecting their privacy, the same people who will come back and be like, hey, you have a problem. How do we fix that, you know?
If you think about it from a utility standpoint, those internet service providers are likely to at some point start to merge. And then you've got one or two big behemoths that are controlling access, right? And the type of products that you get to use. And we're trying to do something different.
This is a worldwide problem, not just here in Detroit. We see it in New York. Our Equitable Internet Initiative can't stop at everyone needs a connection. Everyone needs to have a high-speed connection, or else we're going to create a digital class system. Communication is a fundamental human right. The future of the internet should be a collaboration between city, philanthropy, and nonprofit sectors. In order to actually get to anybody, it's going to require quite a bit of community organizing.
My hope for the future of the internet is that it stays free and open to the humans on this planet.